Hello, this is Ambion of Ambion Spirit Gems and Readings, and here's another video to help you in your journey of utilizing stones and crystals for your metaphysical practice. So, I've had some questions about what is a crystal grid and what do you use it for? So, before I answer that question, let me take a step back and discuss kind of the basis for crystal grids, and that is sacred geometry. So there are certain geometric shapes that we find in nature and that are repeated in nature. And some of the more common ones that we find are the spiral. Here is a fossilized snail creature showing that sacred geometry that occurs in nature. We see the pyramid appearing in nature and in crystal structures. We see the pyramid laid on top of a pyramid, or the Merkaba structure, appear in nature. And we see rhomboids and trapezoids and a number of other shapes that are repeated in nature and have a mathematical formula attributed to them so they can be reproduced and they have a certain symmetry. And so some of the shapes, I'm just going to show you a picture that I just kind of printed today of just some examples of some sacred geometries. Some of these exist in nature, some of them are just pure mathematical formulas, but the whole concept is that they have a symmetry, they have an equality, and they have the ability to focus power, to bring an increase in manifestation energies, and can connect you to the universe, connect you to whatever that power is that you consider the encompassing power of the universe. These shapes are utilized in the practice of focusing prayer, manifestation, and energy. So this is just an example of some of many sacred geometry shapes. And those are recreated in crystal grids. Crystal grids are utilized to take the power of crystals and stones, put them in the placement of sacred geometry to give your manifestation practices an extra kick, an extra oomph. It's especially wonderful for meditation. And so I'm going to show you just real quick a very simple crystal grid utilizing the double pyramid shape of the Merkaba that can be used pretty much for anything, any manifestation desire that you're working on. You would change the types of crystals that you use based on what it is you're trying to manifest in your life. Now, there are many shapes and really great references out there. Some shapes are considered to be better for healing, some are considered to be better for protection, etc. But the pyramid on pyramid shape of the Merkaba works for everything. And so I'm going to show you that here on my desk very quickly. So, the first part of the Merkaba crystal grid is the center or the focus. And so I'm going to put in the center of my crystal grid today, I'm going to pretend that I am working on some manifestation and working on my intuition on manifesting relationships or love in my life. And so for that, I've got a raw emerald and a heart-shaped piece of rose quartz, two stones and crystals that are very closely connected to the heart chakra and to love and relationships. So I'm going to put those in the center of my Merkaba. Now I'm going to draw a pyramid with a base here and a point here, and then I'm going to reproduce that pyramid or triangle here with the point here, making basically a 6-point star. So for the first triangle, I'm going to use 3 pieces of rose quartz because those are closely associated with the manifestation of love and relationships. And then for the second pyramid, because of the ability of clear quartz crystals to amplify the manifestation power of surrounding stones, I'm going to use clear quartz crystals for the other part of my pyramid. So I have rose quartz, one triangle, clear quartz point, clear quartz points as a second triangle. And this is a very simple crystal grid. Now, you could add to this some other crystals that may enhance your practice. And so I have here 3 amethyst points. Amethyst is associated with the third eye. It's associated with intuition. It's associated with, again, boosting manifestation. So I'm going to place some amethyst points in the spaces and create, here's my 4th one, sorry, a circle of amethyst points, another shape that has, meaning in the sacred geometry. So I have reproduced in 2 dimensions a Merkaba with a circle of amethyst points with my rose quartz and my emerald at the center. Now, I'm going to cleanse this using my cleansing spray, which is a sage spray. You can use anything that you typically do to cleanse or prepare a sacred space. You can make a salt circle around it. You can make a salt circle around yourself. You can burn sage. Whatever it is you do to cleanse and prepare your sacred space, you want to do that. And then you just want to meditate on this crystal grid to manifest the reality that you're working toward manifesting. You may get messages, you may get insights. There may be issues that become illuminated that you don't even know existed, that could be blocking or something you need to work on prior to realizing your goal. But this is one use of a crystal grid. So, in summary, crystal grids are based on sacred geometry. There are many, many different kinds and many different shapes of sacred geometry or crystal grids out there in the world. One thing they have in common is they tend to have a center focus point with a pathway or desired crystals and empowering around it. Today, I recreated the Merkaba, which is the pyramid on pyramid shape, which is one of the most common crystal grid shapes, and it's kind of all-purpose. But there are other shapes that people have attributed to being more practical for money, abundance, healing, health, and there are an incredible number of resources out there for you to find the shape of a crystal grid that you most connect with for your manifestation need. So that is it. One other thing I'd just like to say, if you don't have multiple types of the same crystal, they don't all have to be the same. You don't have to have 3 rose quartz crystals or 3 clear crystal points. You can mix this up with whatever kind of crystals that you need or associated with your manifestation. So don't feel you need to have multiple copies of the same crystal. I just happen to do that because, well, I have a lot of rocks. I hope you found this informative. I tried to break it down super simple. There's certainly a lot more information out there and a lot more detail on it, but that is Crystal Grid, basically in a nutshell. I hope you found this helpful. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.